We welcome Karen McMillan, who is a best-selling author and the director of New Zealand Book Lovers, to chat to us today about some wonderfully newly released books. There's a memoir, My Gorgles Life, by Alan Gill-Fillin McLaughlin. So let's kick off with this one. Can you tell us a little bit about this new book?
Oh, this is such a good book. This is Alan's story of growing up in the Gorgles in Glasgow during World War II. So it's a really rough and challenging environment. I mean, you can almost feel the dirt and grime when you're reading this book. So he was raised in this tiny flat with few material possessions. But what the family didn't have materially, they made up with a lot of love. And this really shines through in the book. So, of course, they've got a war going on, so that's their biggest challenge. But there's other challenges as well. So he was battered around the head by a headmistress at one point. His
Ouch.
brother's injured, I know, and spends like months in hospital. And at one stage, he's actually sent away to the country because these authorities decided he needed fresh air. You can imagine how devastating that is for a 7-year-old who's
Oh,
missing
yeah.
home. So, yeah, tough, eh?
It sounds like a really tough upbringing. So, are there some lighter moments in this story as well?
Well, there are many light moments, and you really feel like, children make the most of a situation, and Alan certainly did. So they used to have to queue at the butcher's, and he would make these castles and moats out of the thick sawdust on the floor. There was absolutely no room for the children when extended family came round. So they would end up squatting under the table, like hearing all the aunties chatting and laughing and having their cups of tea. And there's the bomb spell. There's an extraordinary story about him and his dad going to the Glasgow Zoo, and he loved it. But then he was worried about the lion following him home, as children do.
So what would you rate it? What's your verdict on this one?
Through all the difficulties, there's just such genuine love and laughter in this family. So it's not a difficult book to read. It's rather a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. So a lot of people have likened it to Angela's Ashes, a book that came out a long time ago, but it's a Scottish version. So it's going to have many fans.
All right. Well, look, we've got another novel as well, Miss Bumby's Mission Bee.
Oh,
What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so this is by J.M. Laird, who is a local author. So this is a well-researched and charming novel, and in Miss Bumby's Mission, it celebrates the life of Mary Bumby. Now, if you haven't heard of her, she's New Zealand's first beekeeper. So this is back in 1838. This is a real-life woman. She decided to travel with her brother, John, from England. So he was working as a missionary, and she came out to be his housekeeper. So, it's like 6 months on a leaky boat, as they say in the song, to come over here. And but she managed to bring 2 hives of bees that survived the journey. So the reader follows her story as she forges this new life in a new country. So you should imagine there's so many challenges, but it's also surprising opportunities that will change Mary's life completely.
wow. That sounds like the author must have had to have done a lot of research to actually write this book.
Yeah, well, she actually had Mary's diary and accounts by other people. So she's done the research. This is such a fascinating account because it's one of the few European women to come to New Zealand at this time. And the author is a hobbyist beekeeper, and her experience of bringing bees and the art of beekeeping, she brings it to life. I was so fascinated by the bees. So the bees are the star of the story, or one of the stars. And the other thing I really loved is it's such a compelling novel that brings to life these early missionaries, and what they were facing when they came here. So it's certainly their passion for their cause, but also the very, very deadly challenges they faced.
All right. Okay. So then what's the verdict on this one?
Oh, it's such a delight. It's the perfect blend of historical fiction, compelling characters, and plot.
So cool. Well, finally, we're going to talk about a children's book, and it's actually by a former teacher of my daughter, Leonie Agnew, The Only Dinosaur in School. It's illustrated by Julia Hegatush. So let's hear about the plot of this story.
Oh, this is delightful. It's a picture book, and Theo's the central character, and he's a dinosaur, which came as a real shock to his human parents. Nonetheless, they love him dearly. On his first day of school, he doesn't want to go because he's going to be different to all the other kids. So Mum makes him this human costume. So the next day, he's allocated a friend to look after him, who's sympathetic because he's very clumsy in this costume. So a little bit later in the book, he decides to reveal his true identity. And what a surprise he gets, not wanting to give too much away, when he discovers many of his classmates are also wearing human costumes.
Oh, man, this sounds amazing. So, look, it sounds like it's a picture book. There's also maybe going to inspire a few conversations with young kids at home. Does that sound right?
Uh, Definitely. It's a book about fitting in, celebrating difference, building friendships in a fun way. So it encourages discussion, I think, about empathy and finding confidence in being unique.
Okay, what's your final verdict on this one?
Oh, fun and engaging. The artwork is whimsical and it really helps bring the story to life. It was great fun, a real delight.
Well, it's been a delight talking to you as well, Karen. So those are some great recommendations. Karen McMillan, our best-selling author and also director of New Zealand Book Lovers. Thanks for your recommendations this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.